Good evening, Aces fans. We are back for the fourth game of the Esso Golden Ring Tournament in Calgary, Alberta. The last game of the day will be with the Aces facing the St. Albert Outlaws. We get the game going. Dickin with it now. Advances the ring into the Outlaws' end. Dickin's there, battling for the ring, and it's turned over to the Outlaws into the neutral zone. Recovered, back by Dennis. She puts it up. Shot on by Matt. Outlaws trip behind the net. Pressure by Dickin. She circles. Cross pass to Matt, and Matt looks to go deep behind the Outlaws net. Out front, nobody there, and it goes down over two lines. And Dennis collects, puts it back up to Yip. She just misses it. Outlaws ring. Back into the Aces zone. Whistle goes. Into the Aces ring. Schmeling now. Tosses it out to Elder. Elder puts it up to Krenbrink. Krenbrink fights for it, just so loses the ring. And the Outlaws try to get it into the Aces zone. Caught up in the neutral zone. Krenbrink now advances it ahead to Gooden. Gooden spins. Looks for Krenbrink in the far corner as she raises it up towards the front of the net. And it's collected by Weeb. Weeb pushing hard, drops it for Krenbrink now. She goes cross ice to the center. And the Outlaws advance it up. Looking for that lead pass, and it's intercepted by Charlie Best, who sends it into the neutral zone. Weeb now pushes it up to Krenbrink. Krenbrink looking, spinning, cross ice. Gooden with it now. Comes to the front of the net. She shoots. Good shot. Back out into the neutral zone. Shuchuk pushing. Advances in, just so in to the Aces zone. And Best is there. Rory puts it out in the neutral zone, and Spring with it now. Turns and twists and puts it into the Outlaws zone. Shuchuk goes cross ice to Hanowski. And the Aces collect. Shuchuk, far corner, comes to the center, skates around, drop pass to Spring. Spring shoots, goes wide on the right-hand side. Hanowski there, big crash. Girls are down, recollected by Spring. Spring shoots wide on the left. Outlaws with it now. Cross ice, advance the ring to the neutral zone. Isla's there. Back up to Shuchuk. Shuchuk crosses to Aubuchon. Aubuchon up to Hanowski. Almost two lines, but she saves it. Puts it into Shuchuk. Shuchuk advances. Hard shot, and the Outlaws goalie saves that one. She dishes it out into the corner, and the Aces collect again. Shot goes by Charlotte Yip. She gets her own rebound. Circles around to Matt and Dickin, who are both in the far side. Matt goes crashing into a big pile in the front of the net. And it's the Outlaws goalie now. Looking to send that out. Dickin's there. Good check from Dickin. She comes out in front. She's checked. Penalty coming to the Aces for hooking. 13:28 remaining in the first period. Sorry, it looks like they gave that to Matt. I don't know if I said Charlotte yet, but Looks like Morgan Matt got that penalty, so that'll be 2 minutes on the board for hooking. Outlaws on the power play. Advance the ring to the outside. Outlaws get a shot on Sabine. She's there. Shot again. Pad kick save. And the Aces advance it up. Charlotte into the neutral zone, advances that. She circles around the net. Short-handed to Dickin on the corner pocket side. And the whistle goes. Good start for the Aces. Short-handed. Ring comes out. Outlaws now. Get it just so into the neutral zone. Aces gain possession. QB advances to Yip. Yip chases that down in the far corner of the Outlaws zone. She goes cross. Tries to go cross to Dickin. Outlaws quickly transition back in the Aces zone. They go deep in the corner. Best has 3 on, and the whistle goes. 12:19 remaining in the first period. 50 seconds left in that Matt penalty. Schmeling out with it to Rory Bear. She loses it, and the Outlaws gain position. Number 3 goes behind the Aces net. Circles around, drop pass, and shot on. Schmeling has that one. She dishes it out to Best. Best has 2 on. Outlaws gain possession, and we have an interference call being made. Looks like the Outlaws are going to take their first penalty. Interference is the call. 12 minutes remain in the first period. It's going to be 4-on-4 for 31 seconds. Good in the start. Outlet pass to Weeb, and Weeb cuts to the middle. Behind the back pass, misses wide on the shot. Weeb recollects. Out front. Gooden now has a look. She goes wide. Weeb shoots. That's blocked. Battle ensues, and the Outlaws dump it down the length of the ice. Aubuchon is there. She's skating hard. Has some pressure from the Outlaws. 2 lines advancing in to the Outlaws end. Shoechuk's there. She grabs a ring. She transitions around. Pass goes to Weeb, and Weeb shoots on. Outlaws goalie's got that as she drops it behind the net. And the Outlaws, with possession, throw it into the neutral zone. And Aubuchon passes up to Shoechuk. Shoechuk has got pressure from 2 Outlaws as they dump it once again. Aubuchon is quick to get on the ring, and she dumps it into neutral zone. Outlaws regain possession. And they come to the front of the net. Girls do a great job keeping her out. Isla's there, applying immense pressure now. And Shoechuk comes out with it. She looks to send that up in the neutral zone to Isla. Isla gets it. She sends it up. And the Outlaws get possession in the neutral zone and send it back up. Outlaws go cross ice, and Aubuchon stabs that one for an amazing interception. Spring with it now in the neutral zone, sends it to Hanowski. Hanowski goes cross, middle, goes top shelf, and just so misses. Crossbar. Outlaws back up in the neutral zone. Yip is there. She advances, but it's blocked. Ring remains in neutral zone. And we have the Outlaws come out front. Shot on. And Schmeling with the big save. And Dennis sends that up to Morgan Matt, who looks for Dickin. Down low to Yip. Yip circles. She comes out in the front of the Outlaws and she shoots it high. Dickin's back there. Outlaws have it. They go D to D and aren't able to collect. Matt crashes through the middle. Ring picked up by Dickin. Outlaws back in the neutral zone. They go cross ice and Bray is there. Dickin now in the neutral zone. Back into the neutral zone. Outlaws looking for somebody. They gain access. They come down low in the Aces zone. Number 15 circles. Cross pass. And they aren't able to do much. QB with it now. Matt picks up in good support. Advances the ring. Good in there. Hard checking by her with great support from the girls. Gooden now collects and puts that up to Wiebe. Wiebe goes to Krenbrink. Krenbrink is checked and the whistle goes. Good effort by the girls. Outlaws goalie looking to get rid of this ring, as she does with pressure from the Aces now. And Gooden picks that up. She circles now. Out front, shot, but it's blocked. Behind. Outlaws goalie is able to get that ring. She drops it and it's going to be 5 seconds. 7:18 remaining in the first period. A lot of time has been spent now in the Outlaws' end. Wiebe to start. She fires it out to Gooden. Gooden goes high. Girls got to drop that shot just a little lower here. Outlaws advance into the neutral, but it's picked up by Best. Best spins, has pressure. Both girls go down, and we have a double whistle. Looks like it's going to be Outlaws ring. Shuchuk, Spring, Hanowski out with Yip and Aubuchon. Outlaws advance into the Aces zone. Cross ice, nobody there. Race to the ring. And Isla's there, good hustle. She keeps skating behind the net and advances it up to Molly. Molly has pressure. Intercepted by the Outlaws. They come into the Aces zone. Circle behind Schmeling. Circling around with a drop pass. She turns back, goes to the middle, and comes back. Shot on. Schmeling's there. She drops it back out. Aubuchon up with it to Spring. Spring looking to feed the Aces. Hanowski's there. She's tied up. Looks like it's going to be a whistle. Aces are going to have the ring. 5:58 remaining in the first. Dickin will start with the ring. Outlet pass to Yip. Yip circles. Goes corner to Matt. Matt can't pick that up. She's battling in the corner. Yip is there again. Couple hard strides. She turns. She spins. Dickin's there. She advances it up. A little bit too far. But QB is there. Shot clock hits. It's going to be Outlaws ring. Outlaws with it now behind their own net. Advance it up into the neutral zone. Dennis is there. Stick gets on it. Picked up by Matt. Morgan Matt sends that up to QB, and QB goes top corner and just misses the net. Dickin with it down low. She sends it up. Goalie gets her stick on it, picks it up. Drops it just behind the net. Girls are there. Outlaws with it now. Back in the neutral zone. Good defense by the girls, but not enough as number 15 from the Outlaws pops the first goal here this evening at 4:36. Hopefully the girls rebound from this quite quickly. Best is going to take back of the net. Hits the brakes, makes a spin, goes out to Krenbrink. Krenbrink now gets it on the net. Ring goes behind the net and just out to Best. Best charges back in. She shoots. Ring dumped back out by the Outlaws goalie. Outlaws advance into the neutral zone. Bounces off a Rory skate and into the Aces zone. Best battling hard, support by Rory. Bounces off the skate, back into the Aces zone. A whistle goes. A whistle goes. The girls were still playing. A whistle goes and they were calling for it to be the Aces ring. Line changes happen. Yip and Abishon out with Shuchuk, Spring, and Hanowski. 3:45 to go in the first period. Yip to start. Passes that to Abishon. She puts it in and gets it to Spring. Spring circles. Comes back out in front. She still has it. Does a spin. Goes to Shuchuk. Shuchuk with a shot on. Outlaws goalie with a good save. Collected back up by Hanowski working hard. Back to Shuchuk. She deeks. Goes back out to Hanowski. Hanowski's looking. Shot on. And the Outlaws goalie is going to hold on to that one. 3:06 remaining in the first. Lots of pressure by the Aces. Just can't seem to pop one here yet. If we can keep our shots down, more of those will be hitting the net. Outlet pass from Spring to Shuchuk. Shuchuk circles. Drop pass. Drop pass to Spring. Heavy traffic in front of the net. Whistle goes. And it's going to be Outlaws ring. Outlaws goalie sends it out. They go cross ice in the neutral zone. They're looking to gain access in the Aces zone, and they do. 11 now with it. Tries to pass it out. That hits the Aces player, and Abishon is able to clear it in the neutral zone, picked up by Shuchuk. As she goes cross ice into Outlaws territory. Abishon with it. She pushes hard. Makes a spin to Spring. Traffic out in the middle. Abishon with it again. She goes. Shot on. And the Outlaws goalie holds it just for a bit too long as she tries to ditch the ring. 2:01 remaining in the first. 1-0 for the Outlaws. Girls get a change. Quinn Elder out with Quinn Bray. Matt, Dickin, and Yip out on the front end. Yip circles, hits the brakes, comes to the middle. Outlet pass to Dickin. Dickin to Matt. Matt holds the ring. Tries to dump it out in front. Nobody there, but she gets it. Matt now gets hauled down. Yep, goes top shelf. What a great shot. Here we go, girls. The girls tie it up with 1:27 to go in the first period. Outlaws start with it. Dump it into the Aces zone. It goes deep to number 3, the Outlaws. She circles around. Makes a cross ice pass to the middle. Shot misses wide on the right side. Good effort there by QB as she tries to advance the ring. Pick back up. The Outlaws send it right in the middle. And the shot clock goes. Whistle. 54 seconds remaining in the first period. Schmeling now with it. Sends it out to Charlotte Yip. And Yip advances into the neutral zone. Picked up by Morgan Matt. Outlaws get the ring back and put it out in the neutral zone. And now the Aces gain that back. Yip with it now. Tries to cross. Dickin. Can't seem to stab and shoot right on. Outlaws goalie get it. 17 seconds to go here in the first. Outlaws player goes down. Luckily no call on the play. Outlaws in the neutral zone. Throw it into the Aces end. Good hustle by Quinn Bray. 2 seconds to go. And Elder with it. Tie game 1-1. After the first, Aces with a lot of pressure in the Outlaws end. The oddball chance for the Outlaws, and they capitalize. So tie game here. The Aces are pushing hard. They're doing well. Second period about to get underway. Looks like Rory Bear and Charlie Best to start, with Gooden, Wiebe, and Krenbrink to start. "18 minutes on the board. Here we go. Rory with it now. She sends it in deep to Krenbrink. Krenbrink has pressure as the Outlaws player goes down. Outlaws send it up into the middle and into the neutral zone. Outlaws advance the ring, but good hustle by Rory as she collects and pushes that ring up in the neutral zone for Weeb. Weeb passes cross ice to Charlie Best, and Charlie Best goes cross ice to Emily. Emily shoots, good save by the Outlaws goalie. Krenbrink's there, back in front, and she puts it out front to Lexi Gooden, and Lexi Gooden makes no mistake. Aces are going to be going back up here, 2-1, 17-10 remains in the second period. Outlaws to get going. They get into the Aces zone. Outlaws drop down. Isla's there into the neutral zone. She goes cross ice to Aubuchon. Aubuchon puts it down and into Shuchuk, who gets tripped up, and the ring goes deep. Molly Spring circles, comes out front, and she shoots. Good save by the Outlaws goalie. Spring collects, goes back in front, hits the goalie's stick, and the Outlaws have it. Push the ring out into the neutral zone, and they push it in deep, but it is missed and picked up by Shuchuk, who gets back to push that ring back up to Hanowski. Hanowski gets moving and puts the ring to Shuchuk. Shuchuk's driving, heavy pressure. She puts it over to Hanowski. Hanowski, dipsy doodle. She gets a shot. Saved by the Outlaws goalie, and she holds on to it. Aces ring coming up. Line changes happen. 15:53 remains in the second period. 2-1 Aces with a lot more game to go. Krenbrink is out there with Matt, and yep, shot on from Krenbrink. Save by the Outlaws goalie. She dumps it deep, and they advance it into the neutral zone. Going for a breakaway, but QB intercepts, circles back behind Schmeling, and brings it up. It's intercepted. Shot on, and the Outlaws pop one to tie the game. 15:24 in the second period. Aces to start. Outlet pass from Dennis to QB into Matt. Matt's there. Once again, a big save from the Outlaws goalie. She dumps it behind the net, and they move it up into the neutral zone. Pass onto the sideboard for the Outlaws. Back to center. Back on the far side. Aces checking hard. Gain possession. QB behind the net. Comes up and advances that ring to Charlotte Yip. Yip passes that to Matt. Matt pulls up. Good shot on. And saved by the Outlaws goalie. Intercepted as the girls are right there. Weeb is there. She's looking for someone. Goes cross ice to a striding Dickin. Gooden crashes in and comes in as support. Gooden now goes behind the net, circling around, comes out in front, shoots, big rebound, picked up by the Outlaws as they go behind the net and advance the ring into the neutral zone. That's nicely intercepted. Scrum happens, and the whistle goes. Rory is there. 13:47 remains in the second. We got ourselves a tie game. Best will start with Rory on the back end. Gooden, Weed, and Dickin. That's possession changed over. Changed over again, back to the Aces as they advance. Possession change again as the Outlaws advance up into the neutral zone. They're calling two lines as the official had her arm up. Looks like that's going to come back. Back into the Outlaws' end. Aces ring, Shuchuk, Spring, Hanowski with Yip and Abishon. Hanowski to start. Corner down low to Shuchuk as Shuchuk grinds behind the net. She circles. Back pass to Hanowski. Hanowski comes around to the front. She goes to shoot and can't get the ring off. Shuchuk's there to follow up. Molly's there too. She comes pushing hard. Shot just wide on the right-hand side. Hanowski there. Outlaws are able to clear it out. And into the neutral zone, they dump it into the Aces zone. And Shuchuk advances the ring to Spring. Spring loses that as the Outlaws advance into the Aces zone. They come hard on the far side. Shot on. Loose ring, but Schmeling will stay where she is for 5 seconds. Whistle goes. 12:49 remains in the second period. It's going to be Outlaws ring. Girls are ready as the Outlaws start this next drive. Out, shot is blocked by the Aces and collected back up to Yip. Comes to Matt. Matt all by herself. She goes. Deke. And a big save. Matt loses her stick. Lots of stick work up the middle. Outlaws are able to clear it into the neutral zone. And it's picked back up by Elder. Elder tries to get that ring down low. Matt has it. And the Outlaws advance the ring up into the neutral zone. They circle and go cross ice. Down. Oh! Call is going to be made. Aces are going to be going to the penalty box for what they're going to call body contact. 2 minutes is going to go up on the board. 11:52 remains in the second period. We got ourselves a tie game. Outlaws will be on a power play. Outlaws shoot right off the top of the circle, and Rory's there, clears it out. Outlaws dump it back in. She's checked. Whistle goes, but the Outlaws almost had an opportunity there. Schmeling with it now. Sends that up to Krenbrink. Krenbrink to Rory. Rory sends it deeper to Krenbrink. Krenbrink goes cross ice to the middle. Nobody there. Good and looking. Krenbrink's there to follow up. She puts pressure as the Outlaws get into the neutral zone. Hard checks by Best. Down into the Aces zone. Outlaws with a shot, missed, goes to the far corner. Best is there. Aces with it now. Cross ice pass from Rory. Best has it now. She advances to Lexi Gooden. It pops back into the neutral zone, but Best is there. Puts it back in. Krenbrink picks that up. She goes to Gooden. And Gooden skates with it now. She does a twist and spin and gets a shot on. Outlaws goalie advances the ring, and good checking by Krenbrink as she rolls in, spins and twists and couldn't get the ring off. Looks like a penalty is being called. Looks like a penalty is being called on the Outlaws. 2 minutes goes on the board. 10-10 remains in the second period. Even strength. 4-on-4. Spring goes to Shuchuk. Shuchuk jets behind the net. She circles. Pass goes to Spring. Spring's covered. Goes to Shuchuk. Shuchuk shoots wide on the left side. And the Outlaws goalie paddles it away. Outlaws collect and advance the ring on over. Penalty is now done for the Aces. The Aces will be on a power play for 1:30. Whistle goes. Schmeling with it now. She throws it out and up to Isla Yip, who sends that to Hanowski. Hanowski crosses to the middle looking for Spring. She can't pick it up. Outlaws send that in to the neutral zone. Picked up by the Aces. Hard battle. And possession goes back to the Outlaws. Shuchuk with it now. She looks to send Spring. Spring crashes down. And Hanowski's there. She puts the ring towards the net. But the Outlaws goalie picks that up. Outlaws advance out in the neutral zone. Aces pop it back in. Aubuchon puts that back in to Spring, and Spring goes behind the net. She circles, drops that for Charlotte Yip, and Yip goes. Solid shot right into the goalie, and the Outlaws goalie is going to hang on to that. 20 seconds remaining on the Aces power play. 8:30 remaining in the second period. Tie game. Matt looks to start with Charlotte Yip. Yip crosses, goes middle to Dickin, and crease it is. Whistle goes. Outlaws goalie dumps it behind the net. Outlaws bring it up and get a pass into the neutral zone. 5 with it now. Advances the ring. And QB picks that up. It's blocked and picked up by Morgan Matt, who's looking for Dickin in the neutral zone. Dickin now advances that up to Charlotte, who's followed up nicely by Morgan Matt, who crosses. Comes towards the goalie with lots of pressure. Outlaws goalie picks that up. And the whistle goes. Aces are going to get the ring back here. 7:46 to go in the second period. Matt goes outlet pass to Yip. Yip circles around the net. Dickin gets into position. She goes high. Shot maybe was deflected. Hits the net and the whistle goes. Forwards for the Aces will change. Gooden with it now. Passes it to Weeb. Weeb cuts out in front. She goes and drop pass to Krenbrink. Krenbrink tries to make a pass. It's blocked. Aces keep with the ring. Good drive by QB. She has a shot. It goes wide. She collects again. Charging hard. QB. Corner pocket shot. Stopped by the Outlaws goalie. Gooden now. She loses track of it and is picked up by the Outlaws. Outlaws dump it down in the neutral zone and dump it even farther into the Aces zone, and it's picked up by the Outlaws, who go around the Aces net and circle back. Giveaway to the Aces, but back to the Outlaws. Shot on, and Schmeling is there. She drops it behind the net. Gooden launches that up. Back in to the Aces zone. Dennis is there. She picks it up and sends it cross ice into the neutral zone. Weeb advances to Gooden. Gooden goes backhand shot and just goes high. I think the goalie got even a piece of that. Krenbrink's there. Krenbrink's fighting with support from the other Aces. Weeb's there. She comes out with it. Drop pass to Gooden. Gooden shoots and it goes wide into the Outlaws corner. Outlaws go into the neutral zone and advance the ring back to the Aces zone with nobody there. Gooden's there to pick that up. Hits the brakes and advances that back into the neutral zone with no one there. Outlaws with it. Cross pass. Shot on, and Schmeling is there for the big save. She's looking to dump the ring. Goes to Rory. And Rory circles behind the net. Goes up front. Into the middle. Turnover. High shot is missed. And the Outlaws regain possession. Outlaws go behind the Aces net and are circling around. Cross ice pass. Shot! And the Outlaws pick up another goal to go ahead 3-2 with 5:03 remaining in the second period. With 5 minutes remaining, the Aces are going to have to quickly find a way to not only tie this game up, but get ahead. Timeout taken. Both teams having a quick chat here. Lots of energy from the fans here today. Stands are packed. Aces are going to start with the ring. Isla passes to Aubuchon, who passes it down into the Outlaw zone. Shewchuk's there. She's pressing hard. Whistle goes. Back to the Outlaws goalie. Outlaws flip it outside and they advance it into the neutral zone. Back in to the Aces zone as the Outlaws circle the net. Come out right in front. Shot on, and Schmeling is there. She holds on. Five seconds. Whistle goes, and that's going to be the Outlaws ring. 4:25 remaining in the second period. Outlaws go outlet pass get the ring stripped by QB. QB reverses and goes back behind the Aces net. Looks to advance the ring into the neutral zone. Small short pass, but it's picked up by Krenbrink. Krenbrink pushes that to Yip, and Yip is pushing hard. She circles back behind the Outlaws net, looking for a shot. She goes top shelf. Yip rips a top shelf goal to tie things back up at 3:52 remaining in the second period. Excellent work by the girls. Outlaws send it deep. QB picks that up, circles the net, and advances into the neutral zone for Yip. Yip goes to Matt. Matt picks that up and drives down low. She comes just in front of the net, and the Outlaws goalie picks that up, dumps it behind the net. Outlaws with it, try to come in front, blocked by Krenbrink and Matt. Matt and Krenbrink in hot pursuit. It gets dumped in the neutral zone, and the Aces are able to pick that back up. Matt's there, just at the top of the line. Yip is there. She drops down. Outlaws advance the ring into the neutral zone and flip it high into the Aces zone. That's picked up by QB as QB circles and makes a pass out to Shuchuk, who gets taken out in the neutral zone. Ring goes back to the Outlaws and is checked away. QB has it now, hard on the ring, advances that to Shuchuk. Shuchuk goes, hard shot on, but the Outlaws goalie has that. She's looking to dump it behind the net, and she does. Shuchuk follows up, Spring follows up into the neutral zone. Good checking by the girls. Spring is there, good hustle. She advances it up. Shuchuk with it now. She's looking to advance. To Spring dekes. She goes, shot on. Outlaws goalie has it, 1:53 remaining. Tie game. Yip with it now. She goes out front, launches it high over the net. And Yip chases, Hanowski's there. Comes cross ice past the goalie, and the Outlaws advance the ring into the neutral zone. Outlaws hang on to it in the neutral zone and eventually dump it into the Aces zone. They go cross ice and have no pressure to start. Blocked by the Aces, and Rory's there. Shot clock goes. 1:10 remaining. Schmeling dumps that behind the net. Gets put up to Krenbrink. Krenbrink now sends that to Matt. Matt gets it on her stick. She shoots just wide, and Krenbrink picks that up. Krenbrink circles, drop hand pass, back to Yip. Matt follows up, just misses on the side of the net. She's pushing hard, 41 seconds remain. Yip is there, Matt is there, good save by the Outlaws goalie, and she's going to hang on to it. 30 seconds exactly remain in the second period. Aces looking to break this tie. Not a lot of time remaining. Matt is out, Shuchuk is out, Hanowski's out, Aubuchon and Yip are out there. 30 seconds remain. Shuchuk goes cross ice, shot on from Matt, and the goalie is once again going to hold on. 18.9 seconds remain, as the girls continue good pressure in the Outlaws' end. Matt goes outlet pass to Shuchuk. Shuchuk crosses. She drives hard. She goes back to Matt. Matt presses hard. Shot on with a rebound that sits in the crease. Goalie looking to dump it, and the whistle goes. 4.4 seconds remain. Not a lot of time left as the Aces continue to hem the Outlaws in their own end. Matt goes shot, fiver, and it does squeak through, but not enough to go past that line. 2.8 seconds remain. Outlaws coaches are yelling about something. Looks like it might be something to do with the time that is supposed to be remaining. Currently, the scoreboard is showing 0 seconds remaining, but I don't think that's the case. Folks, maybe that was the end of the second period. It appears like they put 5 minutes back up on the board. We could be going to sudden death here in what they're calling period 3 in overtime. I don't exactly know the rules, so bear with me. There's a chance we're going to a shootout. I guess we'll see shortly. Heavy discussion happening at the penalty box. The closest game so far for the Aces, the St. Albert Outlaws are right there with the Aces. 4th game of this tournament series. Folks, we're going to a shootout here. It looks like Charlotte Yip is going to be going first here. Little discussion happening here on exactly what the rules are going to be. Okay, here we go. Charlotte gets her chance. Here she goes. Charlotte Yip Pops one top corner as the Aces go 1 for 1 to start. Outlaws are going to get their chance. Number 6 for the Outlaws is going to have a chance on Sabine Schmeling coming up. Little discussion quickly on exactly the rules for Sabine, but she's looking ready. Outlaws player comes up, and a big save by Sabine as the fans and Aces team go crazy. Next up is going to be Quinn Bray, who's going to get the rundown, and she's going to get a chance to have a shot on this Outlaw goalie who has taken a lot of shots, seen a lot of shots this game. Here we go. QB with lots of speed. Hard shot for QB, but the Outlaws goalie has that one. It was a good try by Quinn Bray, no worries. Outlaws line back up. Number 7 gets a chance on Schmeling. She curves out. Goes for a deep, and Schmeling gets her blocker on that one. And the Aces have the last shooter coming out. Looks like they're going to be going to number 14, Morgan Matt, to finish off this one. Lots of pressure, lots of fun. Let's see what we can do. Morgan's ready. Whistle goes, and Morgan comes up with it. She goes! Backhand on the deke. Here we go. Big victory by the Aces as it comes down to the wire with a shootout. But the Aces hang